Is it recording now?
Please request. Yeah, it is giving me the same. Yeah, I think it is showing against your name as a recording, but that's fine if you can share it with me.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is still giving me, when I attempt, it is saying please request recording permission from meeting host.
Okay.
Yeah, we can start maybe. I mean, you can share me the link.
Yes, yes. I'm just sharing. Let me. So are you getting my screen?
Yes, yeah, I can see.
Okay, fine. So see, finance and controlling. Actually, people are talking about FICO, but actually, basically, these are the two modules basically in SAP system. So one is FI module and one is CO module. CO is that costing. So that is related to the product costings and the budgetary management and all this. And FI is a basic accounting module actually. So FI and CO, people talk about FICO module, but basically it is two combinations of two modules, FI and CO. So we'll talk about. See, basically there are the core module in SAP that is in R3 system. That is whatever the currently system is running. That is R3 system. ECC 6.0. That will go. What is R3 and 6.0 just after these slides. So there are core modules. So these these 12 modules, these are the core modules. In finance, there are like financial accounting, then CO is controlling, AM is fixed asset management, and then there are like SD, that is sales and distributions, MM is material management, product planning, then quality management and plant maintenance, human resource, and in the other part is industry solutions, office and communications, and project system. So basically in R3, these are the 12 core modules. So out of the core modules, we will talk about little bit about FI and CO module. That is the in finance area. That is the core module we'll talk. So basically the SAP software application. So you already worked with Java and .NET. So SAP software applications. So there are if I go to the solutions wise, so SAP is having various solutions. They are having thousands of solutions, and these solutions are depending upon various industry specific. They are of various domain specific, and they are having the various technology specific. So certain solutions which are available in various technologies, certain solutions available for various domains, various industry specific. So that is a solutions wise, and then coming to the small and medium sized solutions. So basically, see, SAP is having like small and medium sized solutions. That is for that means what SAP is having solutions for every industry, whether it is a small industry, medium enterprise, or maybe it's a large scale enterprise. So for every enterprise, there is a solution. So the like for example, the basically solutions like SAP CRM. CRM is customer relationship management. That is SAP is having a solution. Then coming to ERP and ECC. ERP, ECC, that is what we are talking about and what you is training in future. That is ECC, electronically central component. Like that SAP PLM, SAP SCM, supply chain management, then analytics, manufacturing, SAP service, SAP mobile solutions. So these are the various type of solutions in SAP. See, there are thousands of solutions here in presentation. I have just mentioned some of the solutions. Then coming to small and medium-sized solutions, which already I told, that is SAP Business One, SAP All-in-One Business by Design. So these are the basically like SAP Business One, that is for the small and medium enterprise. Those whose budget is maybe sometimes $1 million or something like that. That is a small company. So for them, it is like if the turnover is like that, so they can use the SAP Business One. That is a solutions. That is with the all the modules, whether it is finance, controlling, sales, marketing, HR. So all these things are in the one platform. That is a small version, a small prototype of the full SAP system. So that is basically a lot of companies are using. Then coming to SAP All-in-One, that is similar to SAP Business One. The Business by Design. Business by Design is like, for example, if you are having a business in manufacturing industry, so you will be given a solutions as per your industry. That maybe you may be in the manufacturing, in the engineering product, you may be manufacturing in the consumer durables, you may be manufacturing in the maybe something industry which is very potential nowadays, like in medical equipment. So those industries are specific by design. SAP is having some solutions. So those the industries are buying solutions from SAP on the basis of the particular designs itself. Then coming to the platform, now this is a very important aspect. See which platform SAP is basically working. See whatever the world over currently with the companies those who have already implemented SAP and the company those who are going to implement SAP, they are having basically these two platforms. On the basis of these two platforms, all SAP system in the world are being implemented. One is enterprise service architecture and second is SAP network platform. So basically, the ERP ECC 6.0, that is the current R3 system, they are having HP7, that is enhancement package 7 currently that is running. So all those enhancement package, whatever the 7, 6, 5, 4, so these are all running under SAP NetWeaver platform. So whatever the system of R3 is currently running, that is on the NetWeaver platform. And enterprise service architecture, that is basically there are certain solutions are there in SAP who are running on the enterprise service architectures. That is especially some of the software in the small and medium sized solutions and some of the software in the SAP with like BW and BI, that is business intelligence and business warehouses. So certain things are worked on the enterprise service architecture. So this is basically the transformation of SAP in last 40 years. So now what actually this is all about? See, this is SAP basically started in 1972. So initially that was in SAP R1. So there is R1, then R2, then currently there is R3. Now what is that R1? R1 that with real-time processing of data, but it is only the material procurement and accounting. That is means what the all the everything is in one system. So there are hardly any logical unit, hardly anything on databases. So that is basically SAP started with this formation in 1972. That means what? If I talk about you, like let's take an example. Uh, for example, you have idea about Microsoft Office, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So in Microsoft Office, so there are Excel is there. So in Excel, you can do something financial calculations and all this. Like you can do some formulas there. You can put some formulas there, and you can create that in one Excel sheet. You can create as an you can do a lot of calculations in that Excel sheets. There are hardly anything logical you can put there. Certain formulas you can put as per the Excel macro and workbench and all this, so you can do something. But basically that is in what one single page. There are rows and columns. You can put data in rows and columns, and you can put the some logics, some formulas and some reasonings and some calculations you can put there, and you can get some. You give some input and you can get some output. So basically, it is only one way. So there is nothing separate and all. So SAP used to seems to be like this on those days in 1972. Then after the globalizations and mainframe computing in 1982, it has been relatively changed. So there it has been started as the mainframe architecture while retaining the integrations and real-time processing. So after that, there the integration process and all this it has come after 1982. So this is the mainframe computer. That means what currently whatever the mainframe computer, whatever the people are using, that is actually the uh, done in the our 1982 era. Then coming to the 1992, where the currently R3 system is currently running. Now the R3 system that is enabled to customers to take advantage of client server and internet technologies, created a unified graphical user interface and new functional components. So graphical user interface, that is GUI, that is the front end where the users are using, consultant are doing customizations like you and me, and these are the internet client server technology. So that basically transformed in 1992. So then it has come the SAP R3 and SAP that is ECC 6.0. Currently 6.0 will have a EHP 7%. That will go in the next slides. In memory and cloud computing 2015. So after the SAP R3, so basically the SAP R3 and SAP ECC, these the databases SAP used to be Oracle databases. So you have already know about the Oracle. So the Oracle used to give the databases for SAP and their technology. See, after the 2015, SAP has started its own databases. That is your HANA databases. SAP has started. That is S4 HANA. So this HANA is basically nothing. This is an SAP's own databases. So it is relatively it is a different formations of database. And if you compare with the HANA databases and Oracle databases, there are around 25 to 30% differences about the system development and all this. There are much more not differences, but the processing has become very faster in the S4 HANA. And basically the HANA systems, whatever have been implemented worldwide now, because that is basically actually the more on the cloud side. That is, do you have anything idea about the cloud system?
A little bit about Azure, Michael, my Microsoft Azure cloud system. I have some idea.
Okay. So cloud system you are having as you find. So this basically the cloud computing after 2015, that is in S4 HANA, they are just been started because in the cloud computing, whatever the implementation, the solution SAP is giving, so the solutions they are giving through cloud only. So that is basically what happened. If they give through cloud, the maintenance of the cloud is relatively cheaper in comparison to on-premises, because the on-premises people used to keep the consultant, trainer, engineer, so they are having a huge burden on the exchequer. So to reduce those burden, these cloud solutions technologies they have invented, and the HANA basically on the cloud part is cloud solution. And the second part is it is a very faster processing because the RAM you are using. For example, there are certain solutions in SAP, they can be handled through mobile also. So that means what in mobile, I think hardly any space is there in any mobile in terms of SAP's databases and volume. So currently there are, if you are having good high-end mobile, it means smartphone, you can use access some of the SAP systems. So that is also possible in SAP S4 HANA. So that is basically, but of course, the basically the base understanding of SAP is with the R3 only. That is not with the S4 HANA because there are a lot of things have been changed in the S4 HANA basically. But still now 80%, I'll say 90% of the industries are still there with ACC. That is in R3, not they have shifted to HANA. Now this is basically the SAP architecture. I talk about R3. This word I have spoken last 10-15 minutes three times. R3, R3, R3. So what is R3? R is the real time. 3 is a three-tier structure. That is three-tier architect. That is R3. One is GUI, one is application server, and third one is database server. So what is that GUI? Graphical user interface or web interface. I will, after this PowerPoint presentation, I will show you the SAP system. So in that system, I'll show you what is the GUI. GUI is a graphical user interface or web interface. That is the front end where you and me will work. That is called the graphical interface or front end. Then coming to application server, that is one or more help distribute workload. Application server basically where the applications actually the logical unit have been placed, where the actual see whatever we are giving the command from the graphical user interface that is front end, it is going to the back end that is on the application server where the application and processing is taking place. Then third is coming to database server, one single data repository. So database server is one single data repository. That is what the database actually. So what happened when I put any command in our GUI that is in front end, it directly goes to the application server. Then application server fetch data from the database server because the data is not available in the application server. The data is available in the database server. So they will fetch the data from the database server. They will process the data as per the logic. They will process the data as per the logic, and after that they will give the output to the GUI, that is graphical user interface. That is the front end where we are. Now here you have a little idea about this. What I have already spoken about this three-tier architect, that is database layer, application layer, and presentation layer. Yeah. You are getting my screen perfectly now?
Yes, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, fine. So the database layer, what already I have spoken, then application layer, there is servers, and then presentation layer. Now here you can see Gopal, the application I have shown, there are two servers are there in database, that is one server. Now this is basically in the presentation part, there are two ways it can be presented. That means what? For example, one way it is like the web internet transaction server, that is web server, and another way it is a PC's laptop, that is a network connections, that is the presentation there. Now let's take an example. You are working for a company whose base location is in your like whatever is your current locations. So you are working the premises. So the system server or databases, the application server, the databases, all are in the same premises. That is in your office premises. So there are server rooms are there, and there are the computers have been connected with the local network, that is LAN. So all people are using the FICO people are working, then people are working, SD people are working, HCM people are working. So all people are working through this network, and they are getting data from the company server that is itself in your premises. That is one way, is the front end presentation. And another way is a browser client, the internet transaction server. Like let's take an example now. Now, so you are in the USA currently, I am in India. Maybe our client is in Australia. So what happened? I am a consultant. My client is in Australia and my server is in USA. So in that case, it is been connected with the browser client or web server. Uh, But basically, like let's take an example where then the database. Now the database is in USA. You are handling the databases because database in your premises and application server may be in your places. But I am as a consultant, I am accessing your system and I am accessing your system, and with accessing your system, I am giving the client a solutions. So client will after this my consulting and all this, client will use your system through the web browser only, because client is not on your premises. He is in different part of the world. So that is the right side. It has been showing that all the computers has been connected with the web browser or web server in the presentation layer. That is in the front end. The application database server may be in somewhere else, a various part of the world, like what we are talking about currently. That is the basically the architecture of SAP. It is in. I think you are little bit clear about the SAP architecture on this platform.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, or do you have any questions on this? Basically, the layers.
No,
Okay, fine.
thank you.
See, now basically the general ledger, that is the financial accounting modules. Now the financial accounting modules, there are various things are available in financial module account. Like general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, asset and investment management, travel management, legal consolidation, special ledger. Now before talking about the FI and CO module, I must say that see FI and CO module. So SAP is having, I already spoken about the 12 core modules. Now, if I'm a client and you are from SAP, so basically when we are engaged in our discussions uh, about my solutions that I want, Gopal, I want the solutions. So you are giving me some solutions. Okay, so you can take this. So this is going to give you the solution. So as per your current industry domain and business requirement. Now, in that case, what happened? Basically, see FI and CO module, that is the basic thing. FI and CO module, these guys FI and CO actually basically first module which is going to get implemented in the system. So now I'll give you an example. See, if as a client, whenever I have given you the solutions, whenever I have asked you for solutions and you told me, okay, so here you can take this. But FI module I have to take first. FI and CO module I have to take first. Because with base of the FI and CO module implementation only I can do further. That means what? If I want to implement the material management module, if I want to implement the sales and distribution module, if I want to implement the HCM module, I should have already implemented FICO module. That means what? FICO module is the base module. First you have to introduce, first you have to implement. Without FI and CO module, we cannot implement any other module because the finance actually the integral part of SAP system. So what happened now? Let's take an example. For example, if I don't implement FI CO module and I told you, okay, Mr. Gopal, please give me MM module, metal management module. So what happened? You told, sir, how can you take the material management model without finance? Because in material management, there are the things that you have to purchase from the vendor. Now, whenever you are going to purchase from the vendor, you have to process the invoice. So how you are going to process the invoice if you don't have the finance model? How you are going to manage the inventory? So if you don't have the finance, you are not going to manage the inventory because there will be no inventory valuations. So these are the small one. Now let's take an example. If I buy the SD module, now SD module sales and distribution. So I have to sell the product. If I sell the product, the revenue will come. Now revenue will come where? Because I don't have finance module. So if I have finance module, so there is a revenue account. So in that particular revenue account, the revenue will generate. and it will show in the system. So that is basically what the FI and CO module will basically having the base module. So any company, those who are going to implement SAP, they are first, any company, they are basically implementing SAP. They are first basically, they are what doing is, they are basically first implement the FICO module. Then the various other modules they introduce. So basically these GL accounts. Now the SAP R3 system, each transaction that has a financial impact is recorded in a general ledger account or sub-ledger account that are posted to the GL via reconciliations account. So basically it is system has been developed in such a way that there are GL accounts and sub-ledgers accounts are there, and you have to create those GLs and then general ledger account, and automatically the transactions keys and rules you have to be feed in the system. So automatically after that, whatever the postings has to been done by the any of the modules, whether module, SD modules, or any of the modules, they are given the postings, so they will automatically giving the jail subledger. So it will be automatically posted. So the rule you have to set as per the business process of your client. So the central task of GL accounting is to provide a comprehensive picture for external accounting and accounts, recording all business transactions, primary posting as well as settlement from internal accounting in a software system that is fully integrated with all other operational areas of a company, ensures that accounting data is always complete and accurate. So that is basically the, now these are the basically course content in FICO module. So that I'll just little bit talk about this accounting payables, bank accounting, account receivable, integrations with MM and SD, cash journals, controlling cost element accounting, cost center accounting, product costing, profitability analysis, profit center accounting. Now this profit center accounting and profitability analysis, these are basically a little bit advanced. So that is only on the theory part. There is no beyond the profitability and the profit accounting center. Remaining all are the both theory and as well as practical. That is working with the IDS system. Then the GL accounts, what is the general account have GL account having features? So automatic and simultaneous posting of all sub-ledger items in the appropriate general ledger account, reconciliations account. That is basically the GL accounts in SAP is having automatic postings. So there are options you have to put the automatic. Now simultaneous updating of general ledger and cost accounting areas, automatically it will be updated. Real-time evaluations and of reporting on current accounting data in the form of account display, financial statements with different financial statement versions and additional analysis. So whatever the financial statements or additional data, so that basically will work on the basis of the GL account postings. So that is one of the key features in the SAP R3 system. So obviously it is, if it is in real time and if the data getting updated automatically, so automatically you will have a good financial statement, or you may have the financial analysis reports and all this will get very prompt and accurate. That is one of the plus point in the systems, and can take some getting used to as reports can change continuously. Now, GL account basically essentially the GL account has complete record of all business transactions. It is centralized, up-to-date reference for the rendering of accounts. Actual individual transactions can be checked at any time with the real-time displaying of the original documents, line items, and transactions figures. So the account information, journals, total transactions figures, balance sheet, profit and loss evaluation. So those things can be created through the GL account only. Master data. The master data is a very important aspect in the SAP system. Now, master data basically the company master data is handled by the FI people, FI and CO people. There are other master data are there that is handled by the respective module wise people, like the MM module will handle the MM data, SD module will handle the SD, SCM will handle their own data. But basically company master data, it has to be handled by the FI guy, that is you. So that is a master data. Now master data is remember one thing that is frequently used but rarely changed. So basically that is type of data is called master data. Now that is require hardly any changes in master data, but it is used day to day life in the system. So that is a frequently used. So describes items or object used in the business such as accounts, materials, vendors, customers. That already I spoken about. Vendors is on the material management, customers in the sales and distribution, materials in the material management. So these are the comings in the master data here. Transaction data is the data that is used for relatively short period of time, usually to record business transactions, sales order, purchase order, production order, payroll account. So these are the transaction data. So there are basically two type of data. One is master data, fixed data, that is one, and then transaction data. And transaction data is regularly removed from the system in a process known as archiving. For auditing purpose, it cannot simply be deleted. So that is what you cannot delete the transaction data. You can archive the transaction data. So like for example, in your SAP system in FICO module, so whatever the account have been closed in the month, day-to-day closing or month-end closing or quarter-end closing or year-end closing. So all those transactions data you can archive in the system, and in future you can retrieve those data as per your requirement for any of the business analysis or any of the report generations. You can archive those data and you can retrieve those data. So that is what the process is available. And record must be created for every GL account. So every GL account there must be some record has to be created. Now coming to balance sheet account. So basically the balance sheet account is assets, what is the firm owns in various levels of liquidity, then cash, various receivables, inventory, plant and equipment, and real estate. That is in the coming under the assets in balance sheet side. And then coming to the liabilities part, that is what the firm owes. So that is payables, payment for materials and services received on credit, and bank loans. So that is the liability part of the balance sheet. So this is basically the balance sheet's assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. That is basically the basic accounting formula, what you call the difference between total assets and total liabilities. And this include retained earnings and net income on past periods. So basically this is the balance sheets, how it has been applied. Now coming to P&L account, that is an important aspect. So there are two sides of the PL account. One is revenues and expenses. Now these have been formulated in the SAP system very accurately and very thoroughly. So only thing you have to understand the logic, you have to understand the business process. So that is what you have to understand the accounting process. So revenues, money obtained by the sales of goods and services to the customer. Expenses, money spent to produce the revenue, materials, utilities, salaries, selling expenses, and administrative expenses. So that is coming under the expenses part in profit and loss account. So how it has been there? So there are content and identifier for the return earning account. As fiscal year end, the P&L account are closed to the return earnings account. So basically there are a lot of identifier has been set in the SAP system. So that identifier actually identify the account and it worked according to your command on the front end. That is called. Now reconciliations account, you might have heard this reconciliations account. That is account receivable, accounts payable, assets. When you post to an account in the sub ledger, the system automatically goes to the corresponding reconciliations account. So this general ledger is automatically updated. That is basically in reconciliations account. So GL master records contain is chart of accounts, company code, GL account number, GL account name, account type, balance sheet or income statement, account group. So that is basically the GL master records contain. So do you have any query on this?
Yeah, so far nothing except that retainer account. That slide I couldn't understand much, but this is good.
Which one? The previous one?
This one, correct.
So reconciliation account. See, the reconciliation
Not
account.
this, sorry, the retainer account or something.
Okay, reconciliation account is what? Reconciliation account is account receivable, accounts payable, assets. So whatever, see, there are sub-ledgers are there. Now basically these are sub-ledgers. Whenever you are working on those sub-ledgers, so basically these sub-ledgers actually the account receivable and accounts payable. Now these are the basically containing in a particular area. Now from there automatically it get posted in the respective ledgers. So that is basically the reconciliations account. So whether there is a transactions in material management, whether there is a transactions in sales and distribution, there should be some reconciliations account. So those reconciliations account are basically the system where these things have been first posted and transacted, and then automatically